Sanya, baby, you are here with Ty Cope with BallerAlert.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo, woo. And y'all are clocking in. I'm actually overwhelmed. And
That's overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed, baby. I just watched the first episode. I'm like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the housewives never seem to miss out on opportunity to give the drama at a big event. But before we get into that, I want to know. I just saw the brand new title card. I love this new color scheme. It's giving new, it's giving fresh, it's giving regal. So
Yeah.
are we also getting updated taglines this season too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got new taglines, we got new everything. We got new cast photos, we have the new intro card. So I just feel like this season to me just feels like everything. It's like last season we had the cast shakeup, a lot going on. This season it feels settled. It feels like the girls came, ready to just show up, be authentic, share our stories. So this season's gonna be really awesome. I can't wait for people to see it.
Okay. Can you share your tagline with us, Sanya? Can you let us know?
No, I can't. We're not allowed to say it before it airs on the first episode, Ty. So you gotta.
Okay. But I feel like it's spicy. Is it spicy?
So there were two options. One's a little spicier than the other one. So we'll see which one they go with.
Okay, we're gonna see. Now, you're already kicking off this season hot, but not with the ladies actually, but with your family.
Yeah.
You currently have your brother-in-law as your assistant, which fans will see. While you've hired family in the past, and I believe you said that they still work with you
Yeah.
to this day, what's one thing you learned to not do and one thing you will continue to do as you have Terrell as your assistant?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think, and when what made it different, I think, this time than any of the previous times I've hired family members is that this time we're also all living together.
Ooh.
And that has put a different level of strain on the relationships that I don't think any of us really saw coming. I really shouldn't say that because Ross and Shez were like, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, I don't know what y'all thinking. This ain't gonna work. And me and Tyra were like, no, we're gonna make it work. But I think that, it's really hard when you're working full time, living together full time, and trying to navigate being in a new city. Obviously, now we're both parents. Like Tyrell has two kids. It was just a lot. And I think sometimes I live in a fairy tale land because I'm like, no, all these things are gonna work. Like this is gonna work because it just has to work, and it doesn't. so so to be honest, he doesn't actually last long as my assistant. Like that's, you're gonna see how that it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, I know you can't give us too much tea, but can you give us a little reason on what it was that kind of broke the camel's back?
So my sister and I end up having a huge fight because of something that happens with Tyrell and I that she interprets as me not having boundaries and I'm asking them to do too much. And I think for me, when it starts to cross the line of, like where now it's like, other family members are involved and it's causing tension in the house, like, that's when we kind of had to, revisit it and look at it and see if it made sense. And so I was still trying to hold on to it. I don't want to tell you exactly how it ended, but it wasn't, it was due to like a big fight my sister and I had, behind the situation with me and Tyrell.
We're gonna have to see it play and unfold as the season continues, but it's overwhelming to have your entire immediate family in your home at the time. Like, or at this time, are they still there? What is Aaron saying about all of this?
Yeah, Aaron is over it.
Okay.
Done through when do we move? And so, it was always meant to be a temporary situation. And I do think the in-law, the person who it ain't their family, is a lot harder on them to live with your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And the guys did a really good job. It's going on almost 2 years, but it's definitely run its course. And, we're all looking for our exit plan. The moving trucks are like backing in as we speak.
Come on, you halls. Now, what has been moving is Candy spoofs on social media. Now, some of the ladies are not too fond of Candy spoofs. What's your take on the spoofs and the ladies' reactions to them? Like, are you for it? Are you not for it? Do you think that maybe they're a little sensitive? Do you see where they're coming from?
So, okay. So I am here for the spoofs. I think it's dope. I love, I'm a content girl. Like, Candy and I actually, we went on holiday together while we weren't filming, and we talked a lot about business. Like, I admire Candy so much and how she's transitioned from music and to television and to acting and all the things that she's done so well. And so, content is one of those things that she really wants to like master. Like, she wants to continue growing on social media. So I was here for it. Now, if I was in the spoof, maybe I wouldn't feel the same. Maybe if I was getting my wig pulled down to my eyebrows, I might have something different to say.
Okay.
But, I think they're pretty funny.
I like them. Now, last season, you and Drew were rocky, but it seems y'all are on cordial, good terms, I'm gonna say, frenemy vibes. How is your relationship dynamic with Drew this season and right now?
Yeah, so this season, Drew and I think have a much needed conversation that puts us back in a good place, puts us back at least kind of starting from scratch. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy that we had to have that honest conversation. And that she owned up to some of it. I felt like last season she wasn't owning up to doing anything wrong. And I felt like she knew there were things that she did that really, kind of set our relationship on the wrong track. So, happy to report that, ends up in a good place. And particularly right now, with all that she has going on, of course, I am 100%, here for her and in her corner and praying for her. I think divorce it's such a tough thing, especially when you have small children. So, my heart breaks for her right now. And I just, want to be the best friend that I can be to her, as she goes through this.
Yeah, because we're all, wowed when we saw news that broke between Ralph and Drew headed to divorce court. Now, many social media people and people in general had their own qualms about it. Did you see it coming? And have you spoken to Drew about it?
Yeah, so no, I did not see this coming. I was like one of the only housewives at her party that she threw for Ralph, like a month, not even a month, like a week or two prior to the news breaking.
Yeah.
And at the party, they seemed like, like they were perfect. Like they were happy, they were dancing, they were singing. It was it was a vibe. There were no cameras there, so it was very relaxed. It was just awesome. And so when I saw the news, I was like, what the hell? Like, I know that they're going through stuff, but I didn't think that they were that close to, especially both of them filing. Like, right. Not one, but racing to the courthouse. I'm like, what? So yeah, I spoke to her afterwards, a couple of days after it happened. And I spoke to Ralph, and they both seem really, really broken by it. Like, like it's real and it's sad.
How was he feeling about it? Like, what has he been, feeling during this time and that you can share with us?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've talked to Ralph. Ross and Ralph are really close. And to be very honest, from both of them, I get that they want their families. Like they wish it didn't come to this. But I just feel like neither one of them are willing to really give on, the kind of compromise that it takes to hear each other and then work on the issues and then move forward. Yeah. And so, until one of them at least are willing to do that, that's how you get to this point. It's kind of like a stalemate, right? Like nobody wants to give. So yeah, I feel really bad. And like I said, especially for the children.
Okay. Now in the episode, not to give too much away, but Drew wasn't able to appear for an emergency, but Ralph still decides to show up to support Aaron. Do you think Ralph made the right decision appearing at the 40th birthday bash, or do you think he should have probably stayed with Drew?
So I'll be honest with you. Originally, I was like, oh, because I was pressuring him. I was like, you better come and represent and show up for your boy, because they have really developed a cool relationship and we love Ralph. And so I didn't realize all that was going on with Drew at the time. I was still hoping that she'd be able to come too. So at first I thought he made the right choice, come show up for your boy. Mm-hmm. Then I watched the episode and I kind of saw what Kenya was saying. I was like, oh, damn,
yeah.
Let's set this one out.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now you spent $100,000, okay, on Aaron's party, and the drama seems to have been an added expense, I would say. As Courtney and Candy come to blows, and you slightly played Bone Collector a little bit, Sanya, and you shared a little when you shared what Courtney shared with Marlo when she shared with you and Sheree, and Marlo asked her at the event, which you never know what could have sparked that. But with that being said, do you feel that maybe you probably should not have told Marlo? And do you think that you telling them may have helped with the snowball effect of the blowout between Courtney and Candy?
So I had nothing to do with that. Don't try to blame this on me.
I didn't say you did. I'm just
You connected
saying.
45 dots to bring me into this.
The
So
edit's done put the edit. You gotta edit, baby.
the 45 dots you could. So okay, obviously a lot happened in that moment. And when Courtney was telling Sheree and I what was, what happened and stuff, I said, girl, tell Candy. I'm like, you should just talk to Candy. And I said, if you don't talk to her, I'm gonna tell her because I can't be around her and not tell her. She's like, no, I'm gonna tell her. So then when I told Marlo the tea, I told her not to spill the tea. I said, look, this is between me and you, don't spill the tea. And then of course she goes against my wishes and brings it up at the party. So yeah, from there, I do feel like Courtney had planned to bring it up to Candy when she first saw her. I don't think the party was the right place. I think it should have been out for lunch, brunch, dinner, but here we are, $100,000 later. I'm here pulling people off so they don't get headbutt at my damn husband's birthday party.
That needs to be on a t-shirt. I really hope you coin that. Headbutt, I will headbutt you. Put that on a t-shirt, Sanya. Get that coin. Now, Kenya shared that, she set the bar, quote unquote, pretty low for the Harlem Nights party for Aaron. How does it feel to hear the ladies' hesitation about your party? And do you think that you met their standards and expectations?
Exceeded, exclamation mark. So this is the thing, Ty, that I think is so unfair. Like I got labeled as a bad party thrower when I never planned to throw Sheree a party. First of all, I ain't Sheree, man. I ain't supposed to be throwing Sheree no damn party, right? I found out it was her birthday the day before. I had my assistant grab a few things. They should have been appreciative. No other friend planned her shit. So why am I getting so much flack for doing something nice? I don't get it. And, obviously with Ross's birthday party, I had always planned to do something over the top for him. He is my love. He deserves all the things. And so I'm happy they got to see how I really get down. And, they were all able to attend his party. It was a lot of fun.
Baby, you ate that. And I wish I was in there. Okay. I was watching. I was like, let me get my little best dress on here and pop on in. Okay. Now, Marlo and Kenny Clear are not still seeing eye to eye, with Marlo telling Heather McDonald that Kenny, quote unquote, doesn't spend quality time with her children. So clearly we're seeing the dynamic unfold ahead of the season.
So wait, Marlo said that just recently?
She did on Heather McDonald's podcast. Now, how does this friendship unfold? And is there any truth to Marlo's comments you would say?
So, okay, I'll say this, before the season started, the two women I was closest to was Marlo and Candy, right? I had spent holiday with Candy and me and Marlo hang out all the time. And so when they have this unexpected fight, like midway through the season, I'm like, no. Yes. And it's funny because these girls would be like, oh, we don't care if you're friends with her, but they care. They care. It's always the issue. And so that was tough for me when they, had that falling out and how that plays out throughout the season, right? Like them trying to get back on good terms and stuff like that. I cannot believe Marlo just said this about Candy when I felt like they were in a good place. And no, I don't agree. From what I see, obviously Candy is an extremely hardworking mom. She has big goals for her family, but she prioritizes her kids. And, when she's with them, she gives them, her all. And, I think she's a great mom. So I can't believe Marlo out here saying that.
Baby, listen, we hope that it does get resolved though. Now, what would you say is the status of your relationship with all the ladies this season? And who do you kind of clash with the most? Because it seems like you, Sheree, and Marlo are like a fun trio from IG.
Yes. The three of us are definitely the closest. And we hang out the most together, kind of off camera. But like I said, me and Candy are really close. Me and Drew, obviously, we get to a better place. And, me and Kenya, it's so funny. Like when it's just me and Kenya, we're great. But for some reason, the group dynamic, it's like there's always a little bit of tension there with me and Kenya, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
I don't know. I love Kenya. That's my girl. But I also love you too. I love all the ladies. Let me make that really clear. I think everyone makes the show what it is. I just love when I see you and Kenya together. Like, I just feel like y'all are vibe. Like, I feel like we don't get to see it all, obviously, because it's jam-packed 45 minutes. But I just think when we see the clips, I'm like, oh, they seem like really cool friends. Like, I feel like it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when it's just her and I, we're magic. Like when her and I are on the phone, or if we're just together, like when we have, scenes together, just her and I, it's great. But when the group dynamic happens, I don't know.
What do you think for like y'all relationship? What do you think makes it just wedge when it's like a group setting?
So she's not going to agree with me. But I think it is the fact that Marlo and I are so close. And I don't think that she likes the fact that Marlo and I are so close, and not from like a catty perspective, but like, she just like, she doesn't get it. Like, it's like, well, I feel like you my kind of girl or you Marlo kind of girl. And it's like, I'm me, like I'm me. And and it's like, I'm not going to have anybody dictate who I'm friendly with or how I show up in the group. And so I think that sometimes makes it a little bit awkward when we're all together, because I'm going like, me and Marlo, cool. Like, that's my girl, So I think that throws us off in the group dynamic sometimes, but it is what it is,
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to pray on it and hope that that mesh. Now, one theme that everyone's talking about this season is Martell and Sheree. Now, while Sheree had a relationship last season, this season, it seems like she's in a fun place with Martell. Yeah. Do you think that the relationship is genuine, or do you believe the rumors about Martell, quote unquote, allegedly creeping and his unfaithful ways?
So here's my take on it, Ty. When I first met Martell, when Sheree, Martell, Ross, and I went on a dinner date, like early on in their dating, I didn't know anything about Martell. I didn't watch the show. I didn't know any of his backstory. And they were holding hands. They were giddy. It was like, it was beautiful. I was like, oh, this is like this new, fresh, relationship. And I was so excited for Sheree. And then, of course, I found out who he was. I went back and watched the show, and I was like, oh, this is why people are a little cautious about this. Boy, Sheree knows how to pick them.
Right.
And so, of course, obviously now I'm informed with that information. But to be honest, like every time that we've been around them, and I've hung out with them probably more than most of the cast, because him and Ross get along. They both played football and they just have a lot in common. And it always feels very genuine. And I was around Sheree last year with, TPT, and she was always drained, and now she is glowing. She is happy. I ain't gonna say that's all because of Martell, but, I definitely feel like there's something special there. And, they're just having fun. They ain't putting no major labels on it, which I like, but they definitely, I think, brighten each other's life. And I think that that's important.
Okay. Now, fans will see that Kenya kind of drops a little bomb, sharing how Martell, had slid in her DMs before.
Right.
And as a friend, she shared and wanted to tell Sheree. Now, she did it at your party, which, I feel like everything went down at your party. And I'm just glad that despite all of that, it seemed like a totally good time. Do you think it was worth Kenya to tell Sheree and the group, or do you feel like maybe she could have just kept this to herself and not said anything?
So I think most people value friendships in the way that they would want to be treated. And Kenya says that if one of her friends have information on a guy, she wants to know. And so, I feel like, I don't feel like she was being vindictive or trying to be messy. I think she truly felt like, before me and her, I see her again, I want her to know, do I think the party was the right place? Hell no. I think she could have waited for another time. Right. But I definitely think that she was doing what she thought was best as a friend. And how Sheree receives it is a different story. Especially since the DM didn't really have nothing there. It was a blank DM. So
so I think they said that like he must have deleted it, but point is it was like, ooh, very much I was like, oh, what's going on here? Now, what's one thing that you are, because you have so many amazing things that you're doing, Sanya. I mean, one, I wanted to let you know I am very proud of you. I just love seeing how you just really elevate your craft, your career, all the stuff that you have going on. You're participating in the Kentucky Derby this year
Yes,
as a
yes.
fashion and lifestyle reporter, which definitely airs Saturday, May 6th. So do
Yes.
not miss out, y'all. How excited are you for this new venture? Like, do you like reporting? Is like on air something you want to get into next? Like, let me know.
Yeah, no, I love, love, love commentating. I've been doing track and field now for almost, this will be year 7 that I've been doing commentating for track and field. And I love, love, love it. So to get an opportunity to kind of branch off and do another sport, the Kentucky Derby is one of the biggest events in the United States. It's been around for, I think, 145 years. And if you've never been, I didn't think it was something that should have been on my bucket list until I went the first time. I was like, oh, this needs to be on your bucket list. Like, it is the experience of a lifetime with the sports and the fashions and the food and just all the activities that happen. It's really dope. So I'm excited to get to kind of blend two things that I love, fashion, lifestyle, beauty with sports. It's like my dream job.
Love this for you. Is there anything else you're excited to promote that we get to see on the show, or something that you were able to talk about on the show that's happening now?
Yes, thanks, Ty. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. So obviously, Mommy Nation is my blog and virtual community that I created specifically to support Black moms on their motherhood journey. And the community is growing so much. We have an incredible event on the show. We do our first brunch where we raise money for our nonprofit, and it is wildly successful. So I can't wait for viewers to see that. And, for everyone, of course, BallerAlert is, it's a cultural touch point. So many Black women engage with BallerAlert. And so it means a lot to me that you guys share what we're doing at Mommy Nation. If we can support any of, the people that support BallerAlert, that means a lot to us. And then I am working on a new project that I announced on the show that will be dropping in December. And it is like so on brand for me. It's like something I've been wanting to do for 4 or 5 years. It's going to be around Christmas time, family. So I can't wait for people to see it. Hopefully they love, love, love it and support, support, support.
Ooh, okay. Can I guess? Can I guess what it could be? Okay.
I'm not going to tell you if you guess.
Okay. So then maybe we'll off. You can tell me, but it sounds something festive that I think folks will definitely love.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Now, as we continue with the season and just like seeing how all of things are happening, while they have some drama, what's one thing you're most excited for people to see this season?
Yeah, I mentioned the Mommy Nation brunch, which is one of the highlights for me. I think also, season 1, like no one can really prepare you for what it's like to be a housewife. It's an experience that you kind of have to go through. And so I feel like this second season, I really have a lot of skin in the game. I feel like I fit in the group. I kind of feel like you can kind of see like, how like on the show, you feel like this person is the fun girl. This is this girl. Like, I feel like this season, we're all kind of settled in and you kind of see our roles really evolve this season. And so I'm excited for people to see all that this season brings as far as just our group really feeling like a sisterhood. Although we tackle so many things. So I think between my relationships developing with the girls, with the stories with my families as they develop, and even, like we've been talking about baby number 2, that's still a huge conversation for Ross and I. So just a lot of really fun things that I think are relatable, fun, and also really entertaining.
I'm just very proud of you. So when I first saw you as a cast member last season, and even to see you now, like, I mean, you've been clocking in. You're having a good time, you're doing your thing, but also I feel like we get to see the family dynamic.
Yeah.
With themes that, stays true to housewives. So I feel like you are adding such an amazing, fun flair to it. And I'm just glad that I feel like we're going to see a little bit more of you and just your being this season.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Last question for you is this, Sanya. So I know there's so many blow-ups that happen, but which one really shocked you to your core this season that you were just like, whoa, no, like which one is that for you?
Yeah, that one is definitely the Marlo and Candy one. Because when you see it, you'll understand. It's like it didn't need to go there. I think they both have great points. And I think if they were able to listen to each other and stop talking and let one person say their part and vice versa, I don't think they would have gotten to be such a huge blow up. And so the argument that really kind of shocked me this year was Candy and Marlo, and I hated it for our group.
Okay, hopefully it will get back to where it needs to be. But Sanya, this was fun. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time, Ty. Thank you.
Back and forth to baller, baby, because we only talk to the ballers, baby. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you so much. And for those at home, make sure that you clock in, get your peaches, get your drinks, and make sure you are tuned in because Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming back and you don't want to miss out.
That's right.
Sanya.
See you there. Thank you.